Ghost reporting. What's that? Manchester Barcraft. Got it.
Hello and welcome to youtube.com/Manchester Barcraft. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Raen. With me today is the lovely Sally Bubblegum Jackson. Sally,
hi everyone.
Thanks for coming on the show. So for those who aren't really aware of you, what is it you do?
Well, basically I'm a personal trainer. I split my time between personal training and also miniature painting at Golem Studios. And when I'm not doing that, I'm currently working on a blog called Fit for Gaming, which is basically just trying to get people more aware about fitness and gaming in general.
Excellent stuff. So you're heavily involved in the fitness scene, you'd say. What exactly is your role as a personal trainer? How did that all come about?
Well, I've always been interested in it ever since I would say probably about 15, 16, something like that. I've always just, been interested in fitness, whether it be climbing, snowboarding, whatever. I've got my hand in every cookie jar, so to speak. So yeah, I just kind of thought, well, I'm there all the time at the gym and everything, so why don't I help people, get fit? And that's kind of how I started off. It was just a case of being there every day and thinking, I want to do a job that I love,
So how did you first get involved in gaming specifically, and what's the kind of thing you're really into in terms of playing and watching?
Gaming's a bit of a mad one, because I started out, I would say, I wasn't ever allowed a console when I was a kid, and now I've got tons. But yeah, I literally, it was just a case of going around my cousins or my neighbours and just playing on their Super Nintendo or their Mega Drive or whatever. So yeah, I spent a lot of time, wasted hours, as you could say, on Mario Kart and Zelda and all those kind of stuff. Killer Instinct was one of my favourites. Very good fighting game. And then recently, I would say I've only just sort of got back into it recently again. I took quite a break, just because you go to school, you meet boys and all that kind of stuff.
I know all about meeting boys.
You know all about boys, yeah. That's it. So yeah, it was a case of just sort of taking a break from that, and then just recently getting back into it from watching sort of esports, and that's how I came back to doing it again. So loving it.
Could you go into a bit more detail about Fit for Gaming? What do you really hope to achieve with that?
Fit for Gaming has sort of two purposes, I would say. One is kind of aimed at sort of highlighting, there's a big part of, I would say, in gaming where you get a stereotype. So people think that gaming nerds are just people that just shed loads of Mountain Dew, eat loads of crap, and don't do any physical activity. And I'm just trying to say it's not the case, or it doesn't even have to be the case if you even are one of those people, because there's stuff that you can do, you can eat, exercises that you can do to keep healthy, and at the end of the day, if you're, physically active, then hopefully that helps your mental activity as well. So I think that those two things can really work hand in hand. So that's one aim, and then the other aim is sort of me getting better at gaming, because obviously I'm a newbie, I'm a noob, total noob, and it's more about sort of me getting better at StarCraft or League of Legends or any manner of all these games. But it's not just computer games, it can be just general geeking out, nerding out, it can be board games. I'm quite into my board games and all that kind of stuff. So I'm basically just trying to nerd out as much as possible to the max.
So we often see an overlap in tabletop games and competitive video gaming, such as Day 9 appearing on Will Wheaton's tabletop video series. What is it that you enjoy about tabletop games, and how would you go about getting other people into them?
Well, I would say for me, what I enjoy about tabletop games is probably the physicality of it, as opposed to being, don't get me wrong, I love computer games, but I'm an arty person, I've got an arty background, and I buy records just because I like having something in my hand, and it's just exactly the same thing, the little miniatures that you get in a board game, or the little meeples that you get, and lining them all up, and organising all my meeples and all that kind of stuff, and just getting your mates round for a social more than anything, that's a big part of it, just hanging out rather than having to go to a club, or it's a great cheap night in.
Excellent. Now, you recently announced that you've been acquired by Golem Painting Studios. the stuff you've been posting looks really, really cool. Could you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, sure. So Golem, I've actually known the guys for quite some time. Tommy and Mike, they're the guys that set it up. And basically Golem are commission painters. So for games such as Warhammer, 40k, any sort of miniature company where you get unpainted miniatures, they'll do all the hard work, you know. So you send it off to us and then we basically send you back awesome painted miniatures. And there's varying different scales, and you know, everyone's got different budgets, everyone's got different needs, so you know, we basically sort of work to those standards. It's great.
That's really cool, actually. So you've become an increasingly important part of the Manchester Barcraft community now. That's part of the reason we brought you on the show. Do you have any plans to get involved like more with Manchester Barcraft, or even the esports scene as a whole in the UK?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've currently got in the works, there's a podcast that I want to do with yourself, working on that, that's in the pipeline. But also I would like to get into commentating. You know, obviously I feel like there's still a long way to go for me, you know, there's still a long road ahead, so to speak, but it's all a learning, you know. I don't care how long that takes, just as long as I sort of work towards it.
Excellent. So just before we finish up, any shout outs you want to give out, anyone you want to thank in the scene?
Basically all of Barcraft, definitely to those guys, all the Golem guys. I would say all my clients as well. You know, a lot of my clients tend to be people that are gamers, so you know, they're doing a great job outside of in their personal training. So yeah, basically just thanks everyone, thanks for supporting me.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much for coming on the show. Thanks for letting us film here in your home, in fact. So don't forget to like, follow and subscribe, comment, everything on youtube.com/Manchester Barcraft. If you want to hear more from us, you can join us at facebook.com/groups/Mank Barcraft, or of course follow us on Twitter at Mank Barcraft. That's all from us today. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks guys. Bye.